My beloved child, I know you are awake. In the stillness of the room, while the world around you has fallen into a deep, peaceful slumber, your mind has become a silent, yet fiercely relentless battlefield. The pale blue light reflecting from your phone screen reveals heavy, dark-circled eyes, burdened with accumulated worries. You are scrolling through reminder messages, billing emails, and cold invoices lying on the table. They are merely lifeless numbers. But right now, they carry the weight of a stone mountain pressing heavily upon your chest. I hear your sigh, a soft, choked sound, suppressed deep in your throat for fear of waking the person beside you. That is not just the exhaling of air, but the agonizing cry of a soul being drained by the ruthless grind of making a living. You are counting. You are calculating every income and expense, muttering over and over the harsh subtractions that always yield a deficit, making your heart clench. Tomorrow, this payment is due. Next week, that installment. Tuition for the children, medicine for your aging parents, and next month is entirely an absolute void. In that moment, the silence of the night brings no sense of peace. Rather, it turns into a giant magnifying glass, enlarging all your most pragmatic fears. The fear of lacking the capacity to protect the ones you love, the fear of losing the dignity of a grown adult, the fear of having to humble yourself to ask for a loan, only to receive looks of pity, hesitation, or cold rejection. Those fears seep into every cell, flow into your veins, causing your heart to skip erratically and your limbs to turn ice cold. And sleep, which was inherently a gift of rest I bestowed upon you, becomes an unreachable luxury. But listen to me. I do not stand in some distant eternity, shimmering in brilliant glory, only to cast judgment on your weakness or to reproach the narrowness of your faith tonight. Religion and dogmatic people may have always taught you that you must be strong, that you must sing praises even when depleted. That unintentionally lashes whips of guilt upon your soul when tears of helplessness fall. I am different. I am your creator, the one who intimately understands that you were formed from dust, fragile and easily broken. I am right here, right in this narrow, suffocating space filled with the scent of this despair. I am sitting on the edge of your bed. I do not turn my face away from your miserable impasse. I count every trembling heartbeat in that chest, fully feeling the heat of those bitter tears welling up. Do not try to brace yourself. Do not try to hide from me beneath the armor of a resilient warrior who never falls. Before me, you have the right to be exhausted. You have the right to shatter. You have the right to admit that you are trembling in fear, that the weight of money is truly crushing the will to live that you have so painstakingly built for so long. However, my beloved child, what destroys you most deeply in the present does not lie in those glaring red negative numbers in your account, but rather in a cruel illusion that is gradually corroding your mind, the illusion of spiritual poverty. The anxiety over money is like a toxic, dense fog. It not only obscures your vision of a bright future, but directly sucks away all the oxygen of your joy of living in the present moment. You have unintentionally allowed those lifeless, insensate numbers to define your core value. When your pocket's empty, you feel small, useless, redundant, and miserably defeated. You look out at the world, seeing those around you walking leisurely in abundance, radiant in their material achievements. Then you turn back to examine yourself in the dark, allowing the poison of self-pity, hidden envy, and inferiority complexes to gnaw at your soul. You have forgotten an eternal truth, the dignity of a human being, the miraculous beauty of a soul shaped by my own hands, has never been and will never be measurable by thin paper bills or flashing digital balances on a screen. I see your bitter sweat pouring down in the middle of the day. You are not lazy. You have worked yourself to the bone, scraping together every tiny opportunity, walking cautiously in every step of your career. Yet, the fruits of your labor seem to slip through your fingers like dry sand in the middle of a summer noon. A sense of utter helplessness surges up as all your relentless efforts turn to nothing in the face of the cruel upheavals of the times, a severe illness draining your wealth, an irreversible business collapse, or a wave of layoffs striking like a thunderbolt out of a clear sky. You are thrashing desperately in the rapid currents of anxiety. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink into the vortex of panic. And at the very depth of that suffocation, the darkest, most painful thought slashes through your mind. Where is he? Why does he stand by and turn a blind eye to my wretchedness? That is when financial struggle is no longer a matter of the stomach, but is transformed into a profound crisis of faith. You feel betrayed and abandoned right in your own spiritual home. The promise of a gentle shepherd leading you to still waters seems to become empty cliches, fading on thin pages. Powerless against the aggression of the foreclosure, notice sitting on your table. The world out there constantly indoctrinates you that to have money is to have everything: power, absolute safety, a foundation for the future. And when you are stripped of that single weapon, you feel as though you have been thrown into a fiery battlefield without even a shield to protect you. But my child, the extreme depletion you are experiencing right now is not the end of your life. Even less is it proof of my absence or turning away. This storm is knocking down everything on the surface. Yes, but it is precisely this tearing down that will expose the deepest layer of bedrock. To see what truly is the unshakable foundation of your life. You feel like you are falling to the bottom of the abyss of exhaustion. But know this, right at the deepest point of that darkness, my arms are already there to catch you intact, steadfast, and overflowing with an inexhaustible compassion. I have heard your prayers. I have heard even the times you could not utter a word, only able to kneel down, bury your head in your trembling hands, and let the tears fall salty and bitter onto the cold floor. In your most dead-end moments, you cried out to me with every last shred of hope remaining, "Lord, please open a way. Please provide for me just through today." You have pleaded. You have begged. You have tried to cling to every surface-level promise you have ever heard preached. Yet, in response, it seems there is only a terrifyingly still void. You feel your supplications are bouncing back off a thick bronze ceiling, falling scattered to the floor without ever reaching the high heavens. The doors of opportunity that you were so certain I had cracked open suddenly slam shut right before your eyes in a ruthless manner. A promised job offer is suddenly withdrawn. A sum of money that seemed guaranteed is delayed indefinitely. A friend who once promised to lend a helping hand suddenly turns away and avoids you for their own reasons. Every path you calculated hits a dead end, as if an invisible wall is blocking every exit. And in that utter isolation, The echoes of doubt begin to reverberate in your mind. You begin to interrogate yourself with blood-stained questions. What did I do wrong? Did I commit some unforgivable sin that God is punishing me with this destitution? You torment yourself, scrutinizing every past action and thought. You even doubt the very foundation of your faith. Or is my faith not great enough? Have I not prayed fervently enough? Or lived well enough to deserve a miraculous intervention? Those thoughts are a venom that destroys your spirit faster than the depletion of your bank account. They transform me from a loving father into a strict, cold overseer sitting on a high throne. Dispensing blessings only like a fair transaction, you must present enough perfection and faith, and only then will I pay you back with financial prosperity. But my child, that is not how I operate. That is how the human world functions, not my kingdom of grace. I do not punish you with poverty. I know my silence right now leaves you in utter bewilderment. You feel that silence as a rejection, a cold turning of the back while you are drowning and thrashing about. But pause for a moment and allow me to show you the depths beneath the surface. I am silent not because I have abandoned you. I am silent because I am creating a space still enough, empty enough for you to hear the voice of another force secretly ruling your heart, the craving for control and the illusion of self-determination. If I were to immediately drop down a miracle, if I opened a way of rescue every time your wallet hit rock bottom, what would happen? You would sigh in relief. You would wipe your tears and sing joyful songs of thanksgiving. But what then? You would continue walking down the same old path, continue placing your entire peace in a stable job, in the increasing numbers in your account, or in your very own hands and mind. You would unintentionally turn me into a great supply machine, a kind of spiritual risk insurance that you only frantically seek out whenever your material world malfunctions. But I do not want to be a dispensing machine for earthly ambitions. I want to be your God. I want to be the center of your life. When David cried out in exhaustion in Psalm 13, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me?" He too fully tasted that bone-chilling silence. But it is precisely in that seemingly absent silence that true faith is forced to sprout. My silence is not abandonment. It is a purifying tool. It is the refining fire, stinging and agonizing, yet absolutely necessary. It is stripping away the final masks of complacency, forcing you to stand face to face with the most naked truth about your ego. It compels you to answer a life or death question of the soul when all material supports are completely withdrawn, when there is not a single coin left to fill the anxious voids of tomorrow. Will you still cling to me? Do you love me for my own inherent goodness? Or do you only love me for the material blessings I place in your hands? That is a painful awakening. Watching the security foundations you painstakingly built with your own hands suddenly collapse is always accompanied by extreme flailing and panic. But only when those false crutches shatter into pieces will you willingly surrender your hidden pride to fall completely into my arms. Only when the noise of money, of temporary calculated gains and losses, is momentarily silenced, can you truly hear my whisper. This drought, terrifying as it may be, is not meant to push you over the precipice. It is being used to smash the cage of anxiety that has imprisoned you for so long. I want you to be honest with yourself in this moment. Oh, my child, close your eyes and bravely look straight at the throne placed in the deepest part of your soul. Have you ever wondered who or what is truly reigning upon that throne? You constantly confess me as Lord, as the master of your life. Yet, look back at your most genuine reactions to the fluctuations of cash flow. When your account is abundant and projects succeed, your steps become light, your smile radiant. You easily sing songs of thanksgiving and are filled with the belief that I am with you, blessing you. But the moment the cash flow dries up, when crises strike and cut off your source of income, all that peace evaporates instantly. It gives way to utter panic, to unjustified outbursts of anger toward your loved ones, to bitter doubt and dark despair. That cruel role reversal has taken place so silently and subtly that you did not even realize it. You have unwittingly handed over the power to control your emotions, dictate your joy, and guarantee your security entirely to thin paper bills. A profound question that I must ask you right now, not to condemn, but to awaken you. Are you worshiping the provider, or are you bowing down in worship to the provision? Money, which I created to be a tool to serve human life, has now draped itself in the robe of a ruling deity. It has become a jealous, strict, and cruel God, demanding that you dedicate your entire mind, drain your energy, measure every thought, and burn away even your peaceful sleep to satisfy it. You measure my love by the level of financial success you achieve. That is a heartbreaking distortion of the essence of faith. Look out at the natural world out there. As the book of Matthew chapter 6 once mentioned, the birds of the air that neither sow nor reap, and the lilies of the field that neither toil nor spin, yet are dressed more beautifully than King Solomon in his most glorious era. I recall that image not to tell a poetic, dreamy fable, disconnected from your struggling reality. I want to use it as a bell to awaken you, pulling you back to re-examine the grand order of existence that I established. In this entire vast universe, not a single creature has to shoulder the burden of worrying about tomorrow, except humanity. Every living being lives in absolute reliance, fully surrendering to the rhythm of life that the Creator bestows. Only human beings, with their prideful intellect and sophisticated calculating abilities, lock themselves in an invisible cage of eternal insecurity. Worrying does not add a single penny to your account. It only drains the vitality you need to live fully for today. For that reason, the season of drought you are bearing right now is not an unjustified, destructive wrath. In truth, it is a vital internal surgery. When a body is necrotized by a malignant tumor, a compassionate and responsible doctor cannot simply use superficial, soothing words or prescribe a few temporary painkillers to cover up the symptoms. He is compelled to pick up the scalpel. The process of excising pride, subtle greed, and the illusion of self-determination always comes with bone-chilling pain. I am having to directly peel away the artificial layers you have unintentionally or deliberately covered yourself with for so long. The shell of a resourceful person, the camouflage of material safety, and the prideful ego that always believes these hands can mold and completely control its own destiny. The pain, the self-pity, and the lack you are feeling right now are the incisions of the spiritual scalpel. It is carving deep into the part of the soul infected by the disease of materialism. That is surely the most bitter medicine you have ever had to taste. But it is the only remedy strong enough to save you from a catastrophe 1,000 times more horrifying, the total bankruptcy of the soul. I would rather let you sob in the emptiness of your bank account right now, so you can relearn how to thirst for me. then let you smile complacently in a clinically dead spiritual life, where you smugly think you have everything in your hands, but have actually lost your very source of life. This surgery, though outwardly brutal to your dominating ego, inwardly contains the fiercest, most jealous, and deepest love that I have for you. I want to win you back from the hands of the god of wealth. I want to break the grip of fear to return to you true freedom. When everything around you that can be shaken has collapsed, when the earthly crutches you relied on have all shattered into pieces, you will feel as if you are in a free fall into a bottomless pit. But open your eyes, my beloved child. You are not falling into nothingness. You are falling straight into my steadfast, eternal, and unfading hands. Right at the deep bottom of that absolute helplessness, a new life begins to sprout. It is time for you to stop your hopeless thrashing, to drop the sharp weapons of personal calculation, to learn to breathe an entirely new breath, the breath of ultimate surrender. The state of utter exhaustion you are bearing right now, my child, does not actually stem from unpaid bills or the decline of lifeless numbers. It stems from you straining to carry a responsibility that exceeds the design limits of a created being. You are unconsciously trying to play the role of God in your own life. Look down at your hands right now. They are clenched into tight fists, bulging with the blue veins of tension. You are clinging desperately to the steering wheel of a ship gone off course, trying at all costs to divert the flow of circumstances, to steer the future according to the intentions and finite calculations of your mind. You draw up contingency plans. You calculate retreat routes. You set up safe scenarios to ensure that you will never fall into a dead end. Yet, the more you try to control, the more you realize everything is slipping out of your grasp. It is time for you to stop. Lower those heavy defensive shields. Let go of the blunt weapon of personal calculation that you have used to defend yourself against tomorrow. The act of letting go is not an expression of cowardly surrender or cynical resignation in the face of adversity. On the contrary, it is the most courageous act of a mature soul, accepting one's own powerlessness to make room for my immense power to operate. I want to take your mind back in time, returning to the scorching, desolate desert your ancestors once walked through, when they were starving and utterly bewildered in a place without a single grain of wheat to sow. I rained down manna from heaven. However, there was a supreme principle that I established. Each person was only allowed to gather enough food for that exact day. Anyone who secretly hoarded for tomorrow out of fear that I would forget to provide, the next morning, when they opened it, received only a rancid mess full of maggots. That sacred lesson was not buried in the dust of antiquity. It is vibrantly and sharply present right in your room at this moment. The burning desire to have a massive balance in your account. The supreme wish for solid financial security just in case. Deep down, that is the cracking echo of a shattered faith. You want to hoard abundantly today so that tomorrow you will no longer need me. You want to master your own destiny so as not to anxiously rely on my mercy every morning. But my child, I only grant grace and provision just enough for today, because I want to keep you in a living fellowship with me tomorrow. I want you to wake up every dawn not with the prideful attitude of one who already has everything in their treasury, but with open hands, spiritually poor and thirsting for me once again. The fact that you cannot see a way out for next month, or even next week, is the most earnest invitation for you to practice the art of holy dependence. Accept living on daily manna, Let me be the sole source of life, sustaining your heartbeat throughout these short 24 hours. And firmly believe that the one who fed you today will never starve your soul tomorrow. To walk firmly through the darkness of this valley, you must make a spectacular shift in perspective. Your eyes have been glued for too long to the voids. You constantly count the money lost, lament the opportunities that slipped away, and torment yourself over the things you cannot yet possess. That toxic focus is turning you into a blind beggar, sitting and crying over deprivation right in the middle of a grand treasure. Instead of measuring poverty by what is missing, in this very moment, I want you to start counting your breaths. Feel the life force swelling in your chest, the warm blood silently flowing through every vein. Not a single billionaire in this world can use their entire fortune to buy one more heartbeat when I decree their time is up. The fact that you are still breathing, your mind is still clear, your legs still have the strength to stand up, those are the most brilliant and formidable proofs affirming that I have not yet spoken the final sentence over your life. True peace has never been defined by a limitless number in a bank account. True peace is when you can stand right in the eye of the storm, amidst the screaming bills, amidst the uncertain precariousness of the future, and smile, realizing that you still exist, you are still loved, and you are still moving under the giant protective umbrella of the Sovereign Lord. Alongside shifting your vision, I must heal a wound festering deep within you. It is the cruel guilt when you cannot provide for your loved ones the way you always wish to. I see your evasive glances when facing your aging parents in the twilight of their lives who are in need of medicine. I see the heart-wrenching bitterness in you when looking at your young children who do not enjoy the full material comforts like their peers. This worldly society has stuffed a venomous lie into your mind that the value of a father, a mother, or a filial child is measured by the amount of money they bring home. That lie has turned your pure love into a crushing burden, making you condemn yourself as a miserable failure, a useless person failing your duty. But open your spiritual ears and hear clearly this liberating declaration. The ultimate responsibility of providing for those lives does not belong to you, but to me. You are merely a steward, an extended arm, an instrument that I use to love them during a certain season. I am the eternal father of those children. I am the true protector of your aging parents. When I temporarily close the flow of material wealth through your hands, it does not mean I abandon them. I have thousands of other magnificent methods, miraculous ways that your finite mind can never conceive, to protect, nourish, and perfect their lives. Do not try to usurp my throne of provision only to bring agony upon yourself. Let go of the pride of wanting to be the savior for your family. Fully entrust the ones you love most into my almighty hands. When you untie your soul from that self-esteem complex and brutal self-condemnation, you will feel your chest lighten as if a whole mountain has been lifted, and you will be ready to receive restoration. Now, as you gradually loosen your swollen hands from trying to control, and allow my peace to flood the darkest empty spaces, let us look straight at the enemy you have feared for so long. It is time for a new order to be re-established in the inner kingdom of your soul. Money must step back. It must be dethroned from the golden seat you accidentally placed it on, to return to its rightful, original position that I ordained from the dawn of creation. Money is merely a tool in your hands, a useful servant to cater to the needs of life, and must absolutely never be allowed to act as a dictatorial master determining the emotions, happiness, or destiny of your soul. It has no right to judge your worth. It has no right to strip away your smiles with your loved ones, and it certainly has no authority to stand and block the light from my holy presence shining upon your life. When you realize this truth, the grip of money is instantly broken. You will no longer be a puppet manipulated by erratic financial charts. I know, walking through such a fierce drought is never easy. The stinging wounds of lack, the bowed heads wiping away tears of self-pity are still imprinted in your memory. But look, my beloved child, that fiery trial did not incinerate you. On the contrary, it burned away all the dross of pride, of subtle greed, and of vain outward illusions. That dross is gone, leaving behind a block of pure, solid gold. It is the fortitude of a soul that has passed through the fire. You will step out of the valley of this darkness, not with the hollow complacency of someone who just struck a deal to make more money, but with a steadfast, profound self-respect, an unwavering steadfastness that cannot be shaken by any prosperity or decline of the times. From now on, wealth will not make you so arrogant as to forget me, and temporary poverty will not have enough power to make you collapse in despair. You have learned the greatest secret of spiritual survival, knowing how to live contentedly in all circumstances, because your foundation is now rooted deeply in the eternal rock, not on the quicksand of the earthly market. But I also want you to prepare your mindset for this truth. Tomorrow, when dawn breaks, the reality of the world is still waiting for you out there. I do not promise that all difficulties will instantly evaporate with a snap of a finger or a mechanical miracle. Perhaps those bills will still be sitting there on your desk. Perhaps the debt collection calls will still ring. The doors you knock on may still refuse to open immediately. The circumstances around you may retain their rough and harsh shape, but a miracle of cosmic proportions has truly happened. The circumstances have not changed, but you are different. Your eyes are no longer wild with fear. Your heart no longer beats the erratic rhythms of someone backed into a corner. You no longer look at invoices as death sentences, but simply view them as practical math problems to be solved step by step, under the guidance of the wisdom that I will place in your mind. As Isaiah 41:10 reminded from ancient times, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. However, today, I do not just want you to recite those words by heart as a temporary sedative. I want you to learn to live rooted in that truth. Even when the sky is still gray and the financial rain has not yet poured down. Faith is not believing that I will instantly wipe away all your debts. Faith is stepping straight into tomorrow, looking directly at the lack, and boldly declaring, even though my account is empty, the sovereign Lord of all things is still holding my hand. And as long as he holds my hand, I am never truly destitute. Lift your head high. Oh, my child, wipe dry the exhausted tears of last night. Your mission on this earth is far greater and more brilliant than merely wandering around worrying about your stomach or your wallet. Do not step into the new day with the cowering, fearful posture of a slave to material things. Stand with your back straight. Drape yourself in the cloak of peace that surpasses all understanding, and stride forward with the dignified demeanor of an heir to the eternal kingdom. I am here. I am with you, going before you, standing behind to protect you, and reigning right in the center of your soul. Storms may roar, cash flows may run dry, but your source of life will never run out. Step forward courageously. for I have overcome the world. And in me, you are also a victor.